lasers cut the whole squad stack. Steel on the sand, hands full of grit. We tried to hold the choke point, but they broke through it. Shield walls cracking, minds running hot. Every lane was burning, every call got shot. A pistol stayed silent, eyes on the flare. One last card in the dark, one last breath in the air. Electrolink, strike through the haze. Electrolink, turn the loss to a blaze. A fisto in the clutch, let the whole field sing. Electrolink, crowned by the final ring. Early round disaster, bodies in the dirt. Rogues thought they had us, thought the win was certain work. Sun's down to sparks now, bulwarks barely stood. Still we kept the timer like we knew we would. One more reset, one more climb. Rogues kept pressing hard, we kept buying time. A fisto raised a signal clean and straight. Then the whole sky snapped open at the edge of fate. Electrolink, strike through the haze. Electrolink, turn the loss to a blaze. A fisto in the clutch, let the whole field sing. Electrolink, crowned by the final ring. They had us counted out, they had us on the floor. Then the last round came and opened every door. Blue-white fade in motion, ripping through the night. Rogues fell all at once when the link locked tight. Electrolink, last hand, last flame. Electrolink, carved off Fisto's name. Bulwarks down, guns torn, still we took the crown. Electrolink, pull the whole fight down. Out in the wild grass, you froze my breath. I saw you move like a living myth. Bright-eyed storm with the blade thin frame. I said your name like I knew that flame. You turned your head, I held my ground. No crowd, no crown, just that heart pound sound. I read your steps, you read mine too. One wrong move and the sky split blue. Then you came in close and you pulled away. I sent my drone on the edge of the fray. Your pulse ran hot, my hand stayed steady. One more hit and the shard was ready. I caught you, I caught you. from here will be yours and mine. New maps, new fights, new storms to chase. You and me, no time to waste. I caught you, now you're mine to run with. I caught you, we're alive, we're hunting. You were wild, then you fell, now we rise together. I caught you, let's go forever. Run with me, run with me. The wild is ours tonight. I woke up to the refinery glow, feeling my hands still running low. Blueprints stacked on the bench again. Every new fix just leads to 10. Walls go up, then the hunger grows. Another upgrade, another load. I built this place with my own two hands. Now it keeps asking me to stand. I'm tired, but I'm still here, counting every scrap I clear. If I keep my head on straight, maybe this will turn to fate. Worth it in the end, worth it in the end. I keep on building, I keep on bending. Worth it in the end, worth it in the end. Every hard day, every slow spend, I tell myself it's worth it in the end. Gather the fuel at the edge of town, drag it back when the sun goes down. Research lines on a cracked up screen, chasing what this whole thing means. I upgrade one, then I need two more. That's the kind of life I can't ignore. It's frustrating, yeah, I won't pretend, but I'm not leaving this halfway built. I'm tired, but I'm still here, counting every scrap I clear. If I keep my head on straight, maybe this will turn to fate. Worth it in the end, worth it in the end. I keep on building, I keep on bending. Worth it in the end, worth it in the end. Every hard day, every slow spend, I tell myself it's worth it in the end.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to the stream. Have ourselves a fantastic day up ahead of us here. I actually get to play some Illuvium for once here on stream. Normally it's me casting you guys and talking about the news, but things slowed down a little bit and now I can finally get myself into the arena, and we're not going to be doing it in a traditional fashion. So what my game plan here is for today is, first and foremost, thanks to Deathmatch, I have a ton of Illuvials from across a bunch of different team compositions that I need to level up. And as a part of that, I'm having a hard time choosing what exactly I should level first. And one of the main things I need to level are my Lynxes, oddly enough. I've got a couple of really solid ones, at least purple TPI, so at 75 plus TPI, thanks to my time in Deathmatch. And with that, I'm going to let the Lynxes essentially pick my team for today. And what do I mean by that? So of course the Lynxes, for those that may not be aware, Lynxes are akin to, say, like an Eevee in Pokemon, where it can be any type or multiple different types and multiple different behaviors essentially here in Illuvium. So whether it be a Bulwark or whether it be a Scion, it changes, and it changes every single game. So with that, I am going to be taking the Lynx at the very beginning of the game. I'll see what kind of team composition that Lynx could potentially be. What's its element? What's its class? And how can I insert that Lynx into a team comp that kind of surrounds it? The Lynx might not necessarily be the main carry of said team, but I want to try and get it involved. Of course, there is always the risk of being contested. If that is the case, it is what it is. I can't go for the fully evolved Lynx, but I can at least keep the stage 2 for as long as I possibly can until it's actually becoming a hindrance. But the idea is to just keep it as much as possible. So it's Dr. Spoon, good to see you both here today. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Spoon, I see you had a good one, which is absolutely awesome. Finally breaking the rain streak. I know we're kind of in a similar situation. We've had rain pretty consistently over the last week or so. Finally, wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold. It was just overall nice, and I can't complain about that one. So without further ado, we're going to hop into the game, get loaded up on into one in just a couple of moments' time. One thing that's a little bit odd is I'm actually right in the same competitive window or time window as the Ratty Data tournament that's going on right now. So I'm going to, or there's a good chance that I'm going to run into people that are actually like trying hard right now. To my dismay, maybe, we'll have to see, but that is what it is. No, I check where I stand on the leaderboard. However, this poor leaderboard, I sent a bug report about it, but unfortunately it's been crashed for like a good couple of weeks, I think. Hopefully, something gets fixed up there. Of course, wearing some blue today, so I swapped on my Axodon suit and drone. Both of them matching me at least a little bit. Just debating on maybe using the Kara Blue as well, but I don't have a Kara Blue drone, I don't think, anyway. Oh, I do, actually. I've worn the Axodon a little bit in the past, then. Let's switch to Kara Blue. Let's give it a shot. There we go. More blue. Of course, as we're queuing up for some matches here, I do want to also touch on deathmatch a little bit, because some players that may have been playing deathmatch pretty considerably, of course, when the game first came out, I went pretty crazy into it, right? Pretty heavily into it. But I've been quiet over the last little bit, and it's not that there's necessarily a problem per se, but what is going on, I ran out of extras. Of course, majority of my extras went to the Silence House Community Rescue. I made sure that there was an abundance of Illuvials there that, when it comes to Kara Blue Cup prizing and for Illuvial conservation, that we have enough. And for the most part, for at least what I could contribute, that's been done. Any of my extras after that went into deathmatch. And then the community came in huge. Many people sent in multiple, like tens, if not hundreds of Illuvials to help keep that going, which I'm extremely thankful for. In fact, let me double check and show you exactly where we stand right here, right now. We did get to send out a couple of the tier 2s, tier 3s, and the tier 4s as a part of prizing from last week. But we're still in pretty decent shape. It's just, again, the rare ones, the tier 4s and the tier 5s that we're missing. Majority of them, we've gotten to a point where in case breeding ever becomes a thing and extinction is ever a risk, well, majority of them we are good for. We can at least keep the Illuvial line alive. Again, the only thing right now is the tier 5s. I'm definitely going to be looking for them still. But in regards to my time again into deathmatch, I'm just completely out of Illuvials. Got my fix. Like, I don't play deathmatch anymore, but it's not because I'm upset. It's just because I've got my fix and I have nothing else, I guess, to prove, so to speak. I personally am not one for wagering money right now. I'm not in a fortunate enough position to be able to warrant that. If I was, I'd definitely play a little bit more. If I was in a spot where I was a little bit more fortunate and I can go out and just buy a bunch of Illuvials and then throw them into, say, standard mode, for example, I'd definitely do it. It's not that I'm upset with the game. Just not in the position to do so, at least as of this moment. But a few things did get added since the last time that I did end up playing. So Pro Mode did get added. This is your heavy high roller mode. And I believe the entry fee for this one is now like 25 bucks, so it's a pretty heavy one. In terms of matches, though, it's been very quiet, and to be honest, I think it's probably fine that way. There's only been the one match, and honestly, that doesn't necessarily bother me too much. A bigger, higher risk game mode should probably be way lower compared to some of these other game modes. but like it's not necessarily too bad. We see an advanced mode game happening, say, every couple hours, a standard mode game happening, say, every couple of minutes for the most part, and then pro mode happening maybe every day or two. Again, since this isn't even necessarily a promoted game as of this moment, and the actual all the pipelines aren't linked yet, I'm still like very positive on Deathmatch as a whole in terms of its performance. But again, I'd rather be doing something else. I wish there was something else a part of Illuvium that I could be doing right now. I wish I still had Overworld. I wish I would had, say, the MMO, which of course is still being in development. But Deathmatch as a whole, it's doing okay. You may not necessarily see me playing Deathmatch very much, but again, it's not due to any sort of anger or frustration. It is just because I've gotten my full, if that makes sense. And I can't go any further without overextending. So I'm just trying to be careful. Ethan, good to see you. Hope you're having a fantastic day. About halfway there to getting ourselves into another game. Slowly but surely here. Of course, at the end of the month, from what I understand, let me take a look and see if I can actually peek at it while I'm waiting in queue. Kind of touched on the fact that Ratty, or Bondaddy Ratty, has their own tournament kind of up and running as of this moment. And I do want to kind of showcase this for a little bit. So there has been a handful of tournament sessions as of this moment where it's just been kind of sit and go style, but you needed a NFT, if I recall correctly, as your ticket into the event. So it's not like something like me playing right here, right now, doesn't put me into contention for the tournament. But just basically sit and go style, going to be trying to push the into the leaderboard. I think it's something pretty small, so yeah, just a top 8. So we're just going for a single lobby for this one. And I believe it's the 27th that they're planning on having their grand finale for the month. Of course, a monthly style here as well. So it's kind of interesting. We're seeing another like more competitive focused community style come on through here, and I love that Bondaddy Ratty's throwing it on. While my house league is the more casual, semi-competitive, this is the actual competitive, and honestly, that's totally perfect here. So if it were to end right now, so this is interesting, because Bart, it's Fox Spirit's account, from what I understand, but whether it's actually Fox Spirit or not, I have no idea. It could be somebody completely different. Then Dr. Spoon also up there in the podium position as of right now, alongside Wolverine777. Oole Frodo, it's a name that we have not seen in the arena for quite a long time, I feel like, at least a couple of months. You can see him coming out here for the Ratty event. Nariba coming on through, good to see, still sticking around after the Motorverse Cup. Deathmatch Sale, I have no idea who Deathmatch Sale is, to be completely frank with you. Then we see Texan join us once again, good to see them, and then Hector as well, good to see them, making it into the top 8 as of right now, but there is a decent amount of pressure coming in from the outside here. Bondaddy Ratty himself playing in the event, and very well could sneak in there if things go their way. No Cacho short to follow as well, only 4 points separating them from the cut line. And then Drek Nien and X-Billionaire pushing on through here as well, alongside Tank the Bank to get to about the 30-point mark. Then there's a pretty considerable gap from, say, 12th onward to where that cutoff line happens to be. So, especially, say, the top 10 here, this could be shifted really, really quickly. Everybody a little bit lower from, like, say, 12th onward needs a little bit of luck to kind of go their way, but you still have, I believe, there's this and then one more session, if I recall correctly. There might be more. Not 100%. Trying to go off of it as best as I possibly can from where the from the website tells me. But the bell has rung. We have a game here ready to go in just a moment's time. Will I cast the Ratty tournament? I'm definitely in talks with Ratty. I'm basically just trying to make sure that I don't have a family event conflicting with the date. I'd hate to say yes, and then all of a sudden my kids have something going on that I need to get them to. So that's what I'm holding off on. But if all things go my way, I would absolutely love to cast the events. Alright, game time. No region, so nice and plain. We've got Communiac, Blazin, Tank the Bank, Torox, and then Vibrat and Raw Aim are bots. Warrior Ace is not a bot. That is an actual player, so we got a 6 out of 8 in this one. And okay, this is the absolute gold mine here to start things off here if I'm going for Lynxes. And the one that I need to level is this one right here. I have a level 40 Lynx, a very beautiful one at that. I believe this was like 91 TPI or something along these lines, or maybe in the upper 80s. I can't remember exactly, but I've been trying to level this one up as best as I possibly can, and that's kind of some of the inspiration behind what we're doing here today. The Lynx that I have to play with this time is a Nature Bulwark variant, and that still leaves a door wide open to do a handful of different things, which is really, really cool. Where's my big Lynx? There you are. Let's give you the augments to start off this one. Get to go up against one of the bots to start off the round. Gladly accept that. So if it's a Nature Bulwark Lynx, I can do a handful of things, and oddly enough, it could be some of my main compositions, or I can try something a little bit different. We'll have to see what the weapons give us. Because when I think of a Nature Bulwark Lynx, I'm thinking of either a super strong frontline for my Scions, for example, or I can go to maybe a Toxic Aegis, or just a heavy nature-based team. I don't play a lot of 8 nature, and there are a few Illuvials that I would love to be able to start leveling. So it's going to depend heavily on what kind of weapons we end up getting here. So getting the 1 nature weapon is definitely a nice start, but the Scion weapon is going to make me think a few times. Ripple Flail coming out, that's a personal favorite. I'm definitely considering that, but at the same time, I did just get the Elderwood Staff here as well. And I think I could be more flexible with the Elderwood Staff. So I'm going to go there. Going to level up once. Get my Rangers somewhere in the middle-ish. Hoping that my Lynxes kind of converge around the Rangers, so to speak. Unfortunately, it's going to end up actually tanking right off the rip. I might not even get a shield off. Okay, no, we did get 1 shield off. So that worked out just in time here as we're going up against Torox. Torox, of course, fantastic player as well. Lots of great Illuvials in that one. But we're going to be able to hold the line rather nicely. Double Lynx power is going to help me out big time. And then, of course, I'm very close to getting my Tatofi up to level 60. My tried and true. Ready to rock very soon. Scion, no thank you. Bulwark, maybe. Offensive boost. I don't think I'm actually going to end up going for it. Starting energy, not a bad idea. I might just refresh the... No, maybe we'll go Bulwark instead. And let's make a change. So with that, Riptor, come join. This can work. Is Torox a newcomer? I don't think so. So this is just theory, but based off of the Illuvatar, there was only one person I know that uses Riptor as an Illuvatar, and it's Hogan. So I'm curious if that's Hogan renamed. But, like, we're just kind of taking a look at their Torox had a handful of level 50s, so they're very, very strong. And Tank the Bank just straight up whipped my ass there, so... Tank showing me what's up. Nicely done there. And Archie, we will absolutely need you, but not just this second. Get everybody all kind of lined up nicely here. We've got Warrior Race coming on through. Good to see ya. So if I position it kind of like this, I think my Illuvials will converge around my Ranger and actually allow for me to shield multiple of them. Maybe not in time for the Grotto to be saved. I keep forgetting that it takes a little bit of time here to actually charge up this Elderwood Staff. Yeah, the shield only ended up hitting the Ranger. So Definitely not optimal positioning in order to get that shield onto as many of them as possible, and my Lynx got absolutely shut down while trying to use the Scything Claws, so that hurt. We might be able to at least negate some of the damage here if the Lynx can maybe knock one more down. It was close. We'll eventually, I think, be able to maybe get the Fern? Maybe? No, not even, so we're going to take 2. Valiant effort, but not quite. Alright, there we are. Big Lynx up front. The Stoic Lynx is one of the Lynxes that I do need to actually begin leveling up. I had it at about level 20 a little bit earlier. But we did pull this one. We saved it out of deathmatch. Nearly perfect tank-wise and solid offensively as well. To the point where I even gave my Dark Hollow Stoic Floor Lynx a little bit of a breather. Let them have a break here in the arena for now. And just allow for this one to level up and get stronger. Okay. We'll do something like this for the time being. This is one of the bots, so I think we should be able to clean up just fine. Let's clean the bench a little bit. I'm not going to be going for the Grand Atipo. I do need to level my Atipo, actually. It's only just a little guy, level 20. Kukas, was I keeping you for a reason? I don't think so. One of the teams I've been oddly having a lot of fun with over the last couple of days have just been Slayer teams. I've completely neglected Gyro for the majority of my time in the arena. I wasn't competitive in arena back when Gyro used to run around with games like very, very early, like say years ago. Like I've never like paid that much attention or wasn't that heavy into arena back then. And at all times, Gyro's kind of felt mediocre. But as of late, I've been having a lot of damn fun with Gyro. And if I can get a team made where it's Gyro plus Umber and like intentionally go for a Slayer team, it's really fun. And I've been enjoying that a lot. You're going up against tank. They're probably going to wreck me here. Give my other Lynx maybe a little bit more airtime for a little bit of potential extra experience. And now that we've hit max economy and we're still very healthy in terms of our player health, we're actually not in a bad spot at all to roll for Lynxes, as long as not too many people are going for them themselves. We'll take a look at it in just a second here, as my little Stoic Lynx is going to be the last one alive. Maybe could have pulled this off if this was a closer fight, but at the same time, that's a level 60 Greater Monk here. Tank's going to absolutely wreck me once again. And then Lynx-wise, it looks like I'm actually in a pretty clean spot to go for it. A couple people have a few baby Lynxes, but that's nothing to stop me, in my opinion. We can put... no, you're already maxed out on things here. Titofi, you can join as well. Potentially finding an early Scarebuck would be cool, but I'm not going to go for it just yet. Not hitting a Lynx there whatsoever was a little bit disappointing. When I'm going up against an actual player, I'll probably sub out my other Lynx for my TNT. Just to help confirm the win here, because I'm leveling up and trying so many other different Illuvials, I need at least something to bring the firepower, which TNT can absolutely do. Of course, my TNT, one of my few level 60s. Old reliable, so to speak. Okay, so up, it's here, shielded allies give damage amp. I think the heal's kind of negligible. This I find a lot of fun, actually, where you deal a bunch of damage to stuff nearby. It actually kind of promotes you to put the ranger near the front. I think I'll go for the damage amplification. Get a couple of Lynxes once again. Can we finish the job? Not quite yet. Communiac, they've got a double level ahead of me here. So let's bring in our dearest TNT. And then my little Riptor can stick around as well. So we're one Lynx away from being able to hit our big tank. I've got a lot of damage built in onto this little Riptor, and it's going to be able to get through too, and now it should be able to be kind of safe for a little bit. Yeah, this team's working out rather nicely. Just got to deal with that Fury Ox really in the background, and we're going to be fine. So we're cruising and sitting kind of pretty, not going to lie. Matipo, come back. Caribou, come in just in case. Physical resistance, not a bad idea. I don't see myself playing any fire. The water imprint is nice, but I don't like the augment attached to it. Combat rhythm, there we go. I'm not going to say no to combat rhythm. Okay, another tank is here with our Axon. Can we please finish our damn Lynx, potentially? We can right now. Hello, beautiful. There you are. Oh, hello, beautiful. You're walking into that room. Welcome, welcome. Good timing. Wolverine, good to see you. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Now, the one awkward thing that we're kind of sitting with right now, after all of this rolling, I still haven't gotten my Archos. So that is hella annoying. Can we switch this up? Thank you. There it is. There was a Caribou that I missed completely a second ago, so that's a little disappointing. So I then have you kind of as our carry. Let's reposition. In fact, I think instead of giving it to Riptor for now, screw it. Let's make our tank Lynx an absolute menace. Let's go for the takedown one because we can. And make you super tanky. Do the resistance reflection variant. Okay, Riptor, go over here. Swap things up. I should have leveled. I could have gotten to level 6 since I'm basically done what I'm looking for. Caribou's going to pay for it right off the rip, but now let's see how this Lynx can go. Going up against Taurox, and now that it's being focused, yeah, we're going to absolutely need some levels here because we got absolutely rolled. What was the level of Taurox? Level 8? Okay, fair enough, and heck, they're already playing with Furioxes, so that makes sense there. Can't stay like this for long. Regen over time, sure, let's get the next level in. Let's bring Axon into the field as well. Maybe catch the Rake of Blazon that's going to be coming around here in just a moment. Can I get up to 7 without going over? Not quite. Okay. I could potentially get up to another nature. In fact, maybe we'll try that. Let's get Cling into the fray. The Aegis buff is still going to be on the Lynx for the time being. So I'll set it up something like that. Let's catch the Rake as best as possible. And I might take a little bit of additional heat in regards to my player health if this doesn't work out correctly, but worth a shot. For nature, some more healing over time, which is definitely nice, but if there's a lot of damage coming out, it does not matter. Holding ourselves pretty decently. The Lynx is finally going to end up falling here. Did not get that last stun off, unfortunately. And while we held the Rake down, we've not stopped it. So this Rake is actually in a position where it maybe could run away. No, actually. The empaths are going to deal the job rather nicely. So there we go. Level 7. We can bring TNT back out into the fray. Up against Warrior Race now. TNT can hide out here. Alright, Scorpion check. Let's see if there is any. There is nobody else going for Rip Lance right now, it looks like. I'll gladly pick up another Water Illuvial here with our dear Alfie. And now the Riptorus is here. It's a 3 Toxic now online. I'm going to potentially want this Adorito and actually sell off Alfie instead. I highly value that little Ador. And then I'll switch up how my Aegis is situated here in just a second. Can we get one more shield out? We can. Riptorus is still doing a fine job. Now on to the support line. That's exactly what we're looking for. And this is looking good. All right. Good thing I didn't have to stay at level 5 any longer. That would have been very painful. Okay, so Ranger needs to move. We'll give Riptor this. Okay, angle this up a little bit. It's situated like that, and we happen to actually be going up against rogues. So that I did not perform that at all, as I probably should have. But we at least got the big Lynx in the background. Should be able to get a good stun off. There we go. Can we kill off this Lura before it stuns? No, it is going to be able to get that charm for at least a moment. But in terms of negating that ramp fee, that went exactly as we needed to. Cryptorus is on absolute cruise control over there in the top right. And it was dealt with rather nicely. So the question is now level or Rip Lance. Part of me wants to be greedy and go for Rip Lance. It would help me load up my tanks here as well, so it wouldn't actually be a bad idea, I don't think. Yeah, we could try. Maybe if I see foes around too, though, maybe I'll start picking some of those up. There's a Kling, there's another Scorpion. One more Kira Blue. That could also potentially be a hit here if we manage to get up to Turtle Ox. I did roll past a foe, so that was a little bit annoying. I could have a Forest right now. I dropped the ball a little bit there. Attack speed, shield value. I'll take the shield value this time. Twing. There's another little Riptor. In fact, I think I will toss aside my turtles. Squizzes are teasing me here this time. And all of these Illuvials coming on through, and I'm not hitting what I need. So that's a little bit disappointing. I'm going to switch this up from Toxic Aegis to Verdant Aegis. Give this to our dear Lynx. Is there anybody diving? In fact, yes, there is. That is going to be a Rake coming for us here with Tank the Bank. The Strike Augment coming on through. Don't have anyone to really give it to as of yet, though, so I'm going to have to hang on. I've changed the way that I play at least a little bit. Before, like, anytime, or I guess I can just shorten it up with this. I don't use yellow augments at all anymore. The more that I've played, it feels like the Omega augments, for the most part here in the game, are kind of just throwaway augments. The health augments, the bruiser augments, the DPS, like the red ones, those all feel valuable. Those all feel like they make impacts. Heck, even, I guess, the support ones sometimes can as well. But in terms of actually getting straight up Omega power, I do not feel a damn thing. So, gonna be ignoring those moving forward. I think we'll try to second wind. Another Scorpion is here. Did anybody else take any? No, they have not. So it's there. It's available. Can I actually get the job done here? We're going up against a bit of a bunkered style composition, so I'm going to switch up the way that my tank line is playing. All the way up with another Kling. I wasn't looking for Gnarl, but I mean, if they're going to give me Gnarl, I'm not going to complain. With Verdant online, I might not necessarily be using it optimally with both my team kind of separated a little bit here. Optimally, I'd want Twine a little bit closer to my other tanks. Was able to get one, but I think that was just about it. And level 9 of Torux is going to tear through us, so I really need to start worrying here. Under 50. I mean, I'm right there for a Gnarl, if I do recall. Okay, Boris is here. Let's swap these over to the forest. Okay, TNT, I think I'm set with you for the day, thank you. Going to do a couple of rolls. There's one, so we're 2 scorpions away. There's the big cling. That is a nice one to come on through here. Okay, if we can win this one, that would be amazing. But sitting at level 7 is probably hurting me. Not gonna lie. Lynx doing a good job holding the line so far. Forest is going to run in front of their tanks like they always do, but thankfully the Lynx is holding on. The splash damage coming out from that Forest is making things extremely irritating. Come on, get some of those ghosting screams onto that back line. There we go. Some good damage done, but the Archo still lives. So heck, we still even have Verdant onto our Gnarl. We're gonna have to hope for some overtime success, I think. That's a machine gun Furiox. Doing some good damage. Those shields come out big, though, to at least stop some of these Furiox shots, and we are guaranteed into the top 4 now. Not bad. Alright, let's go down to 20. If I hit Rip Lance, then success. If not, then I think we move on. Oh, we need ya. That is a painful amount of misses here. We are so close. This is honestly worst case scenario to me. We finally do end up getting it. There we go. Rip Lance is here. Oh, sneak over here. Work with my Lynx to catch this Rake, please. Oh, heck, there we go. Both the DPS units going to come on in and just focus right onto that Rake. Get it out, and then separate. Now, anything else we need to put in towards levels. Forest is going to be our next big upgrade. I have an Adorito on the bench ready to play, but just needs to actually get into the field, because we are going to 100% be swarmed here. We do lose Blazin', so we've made it to the podium. We do have an NPC round, so I can breathe for just a second. Maybe we move some of these augments over to our Gnarl instead of the Lynx. The Lynx, while it has a ton of HP, I think the Gnarl has more, so we'll keep them situated for the time being. The one thing that I'm kind of kicking myself for is the fact that while I was on the earlier levels, I did not scoop up a Greater Monk Ear. Having Berserker right now would be a massive bonus. And that I'm straight up just not going to have, which is definitely frustrating. Let's see, keep you sustained. Can I just make you an absolute DPS monster? Maybe do something like that. I'm not close enough to level up again. I'll push my luck and see if we can get a close enough battle to where if we lose, we don't get eliminated. This could be too greedy. We will see, though. Good shot there for the Forest. But my poor little Scorpion is getting absolutely obliterated. As soon as that Furiox turns and burns on me, we will lose our big carry. This is not close enough of a loss that I was hoping for. This might actually just take me right out. Might have pushed a little and flew a little too close to the sun. Absolutely. Going to end up falling in 3rd place here, but a valiant efforts, I feel like, nonetheless. A little bit of misplays, but it is what it is. Nice being able to get Rip Lance, but again, yeah, if I knew that I was going for Rip Lance, I probably should have just focused on getting a Monk Ear, get Berserker. So I was kind of missing half the team in that instance. We'll queue up again, though, nice and quick. Yeah. I'm catching up to what you guys are talking about here in regards to deathmatch here in the chat as well. I know this was something that kept me away from the standard modes or the paid modes for deathmatch for the longest time, because it literally surprised me. I get that everybody was really excited that deathmatch was around, but the fact that we're putting in a $1 ante, for example, to try and get, what was it, like $2.60 back or something along those lines for deathmatch standard mode, and people were straight up just throwing tier 5 fully evolved Illuvials into that game mode, was absolutely incredible. And I, like, in a bad way, so to speak, I'd borderline call it reckless. I'm not going to insult anybody who's, like, was doing that. By all means, if you're having fun, you do you. But what I'm seeing, at least now, whether it be in the testing chats for Illuvium Deathmatch, or just in the public Illuvium Deathmatch chats, it seems like a lot of people are really angry now because they've lost so many good Illuvials. But they were frankly just throwing such amazing Illuvials into these modes when they know that there's risk. And, like, again, I'm not going to insult anybody who's playing it. Like, by all means, as long as you're having fun, you're having fun. But when there is the chance to die, even when we see these pro modes now, like, I definitely understand, like, throwing a tier 5 fully evolved Illuvial into a pro mode game, because that's a lot more on the line. But what I was surprised of is, even if you do have pro mode going, since levels don't actually take into effect, it's really scary to invest any sort of Illuvials into that game mode when there's chance of death. So God forbid, like, I've seen some people throw in, like, level 60s, for example, and end up dying, and that's extremely heartbreaking, because that could have been an arena Illuvial, right? And I feel like a lot of our heavy hitters in deathmatch are kind of starting to get hit that sort of remorse, and thankfully there is the resurrection portion of deathmatch coming out very, very soon. So people will at least get one chance at getting those Illuvials back. Because otherwise, that could have been a very scary couple of losses. Switch these over to my good Lynx. We've been blessed by the Lynx gods once again into this battle. First and foremost, getting the 2 Lynxes. Second of all, getting Archos right away, so I'm not gonna lie, it's setting up for potentially another Aegis-style game, except the Lynx could potentially be a better carry this time. We do have the water variant of or water fighter one, so the Relentless Hydro Lynx coming on through this time. And I feel like I can do a lot more damage with that, because this is what makes things oh, it's literally going to give me the nuts. Okay. Let's take a look and see what everybody else is running first off. Blazing with some fire. Hector going to be waiting, it looks like. Our Boots with the grass side of things. Warrior Ace still waiting here as well. I might try the Bulwark variant this time by. Yeah, let's do that. This is all going to seem extremely familiar. But we already have Aegis online this time, which is the big difference. It took us a little while to actually find Archos in our early game last game. This time we hit it immediately, so this is actually really cool. So basically my Lynx here is going to be supercharged, so to speak, with my Ranger and my Archos both pumping in some stats into that Lynx. And of course that Lynx already hits hard enough. The one that I'm boosting is going to be the one that I've been using for the longest time, so it's already high level. Let's get the battle momentum. Additional attack speed every couple of seconds, rather nice. Maybe give some additional fighter support here with maybe some of these other Illuvials. Yeah, what if I just raw... do it kind of raw here, like this here, with just the Ranger as the only tank, so to speak. And just let the stat distribution and the firepower maybe speak for itself. This might be a little bit reckless, but we'll see. It looks like it's going to work here versus our boots. Not cleanly, but it's going to work. Clean up some of the bench here in just a moment's time here as well. Another Atlas, get another water alluvial on the board. A T-pose or water this time by here as well. Lynx, you can take that, I think. Yeah, Rye is here for an additional fighter, but I do need at least up to a Relentless Lynx to get another fighter on board. And do a last little bit of cleanup while this battle's going on. Fourth here. Up against one of the bots. Hopefully this is a nice, quick, and easy cleanup. Would love to keep this win streak going. Beautiful. Yeah, so a much cleaner getaway to this game compared to the last one. And with it working as good, depending on how the Lynx rush goes, we might be in great shape. This is a good start. Relentless Lynx. This is another one of the Lynxes I have to level. It's only level 31 as of this moment. We still have plenty of work here. I'm going to bring Doka into the fray to get some fighter buffs now online, all the way up to 3. So some attack speed on top of the battlefield momentum. So we're going to have even more attack speed. And another brawler augment potentially around the corner. Or do I want to go for some just raw DPS? That might not be a bad idea. Do we get the snowballing one? Or disruptive? Is anybody playing air? I don't see any air. So we can actually completely ignore the disruptive. We can go for the greedier one. Let's make the switch like this for the time being. Maybe make Doka a bit of a tank of sorts. Gonna be halfway up, kind of something along these lines here. And for the early game, this is honestly a really, really good squad. If I'm getting killed, it's probably because of levels. I'm pretty confident with this, I am not going to lie. I was waiting for there to be a famous last words kind of moment, but nope, it does actually work. We're not punished this time. And now we're going to hit level 5 right as we get up to max interest as well, which means it's almost rolling time. Lynx check, this makes it a little difficult. So we do see 2 people picking up additional Lynxes. So my ability to actually get away with it cleanly is going to be threatened. Let's do something like this, potentially. Let's see, how do I want to play this here? Let's rotate this over for just a moment. Yeah, so our boots does have a Lynx at... Well, so does Blazin. Blazin, how many do you have? Nothing left on the bench, though. Our boots, nothing left on the bench. So, okay, they have the 1 Lynx, but they've not gone for any more, so... Let's see. Maybe I do 1 set of rolls here at level 5. And see what we can land. Finding the Axon's a nice little pickup here as well. There's 1. Maybe I can even find the Templar. There we go. So 1 Lynx. Have Railu now here as well. Is there anything else that I'd like to roll for which would make this a little bit more worthwhile? I mean, I'm really close to actually finding Archelian, which would be a nice pickup. Bigger heals, more Aegis stats to go around. Yeah, this time we're going up against Hector, and 100% Hector's going to beat my ass. Not a problem there. Archelian check. Does anybody else have it? No. So I think what I'm going to justify in doing this time is that I'm not rolling for Lynxes, I'm rolling for Archelion. But if we happen to pick up Lynxes, I'm not gonna complain. Heck, we're in a similar spot here actually with Axodon. Very close, actually. So Lynx. I mean, I'm not gonna complain. I do need headies here eventually as well. I think I'm going to swap this out here, though. Get a bit of a bigger tank here. Let's see if we can maybe protect our Lynx a little bit better this time. Okay, Doka, thank you. Axon, we're getting there. There is a world where I can maybe still need a Tipo. Or another water unit, depending on how this actually goes. My entire game plan was around keeping that Lynx alive, and it got absolutely popped, so that didn't necessarily go out according to plan. But we do have my level 60s holding the line rather nicely. We do have, that's rather nice, not my art shows. Relentless Lynx tearing on through. What's the level of that little Pyre? Not too bad either. Very cool. Okay, the drone effects only being stage 1 is a little bit of a piss off, so we'll go for Smoldering Strike. We've got another tank online. There we go. I'm going to take Railu out for just a moment. Get 3 bulwarks here. Again, we're looking for Archelion. That's the one we're looking for. Nobody else has this damn thing. Okay, there's one more Archie. And we're within striking distance of Lynxes here as well. Our boots, one more check. How many do you have? None outside of the one you have on the field. Blazin, you two have 2, but that's about it looks like. And we're 1 hit away from multiple. Very, very close. Archelion is here. I am 1 Lynx away, so I think I'm going to try and go for it. They're going to make me pay for it, though, heavily. In fact, seeing all these Tofis is making me really, really sad that I wasn't gathering them up more. Okay, let's do something like this for the time being. Some Omega Power coming on through. Up against Warrior Ace, they do have 2 levels on me, so we're getting into a relatively similar situation to the last game. But if I could actually hit the Lynx, then I completely skipped the Rip Lance part of this build. And this is a close one, all things considered. We were so low on HP, or not on HP, but on level, and we're still going to end up winning this one. Thankfully, these are a lot of my 60s carrying the fights here. So big thank yous to them, because that could have been problematic. On Omega will take the damage. Any chance we can just finish the job here now? No, not going to do so. Okay, 1 more health augment on over here. Get rid of the Omega. I throw this over here to you instead. I'd rather Crunk tank. The more I wait, the more I think I'm causing a problem. So, not gonna lie, getting a little antsy. Our boots, what's their average? 23? They're on the come up, but I mean, that's a scary little... Well, that's a very scary guy right there. That's a beautiful little Sin-Off. This is gonna hurt. In fact, this is probably going to hurt a lot. Let's see how this beam goes. It's going into my Crunk at least, which does have that energy resistance augment. So it stayed alive for a little bit longer than it probably should have. But the fact that Fur Knight just trolled my Lynx to the point where that big ol' Mauling Claw just did not actually come out, we get absolutely rolled on. Okay, Railu, come back. Let's keep max interest. Can we, first off, get you some more health? We'll do that. Where is this damn Lynx? Now I'm mad. Oof, okay. We're right there for the Axodon as well, which is just irritating, because I don't think Okay, our boots does have one Axon. But yeah, the rolls have not been in my favor. Yeah, considering we're about to break into the 20s, I'm going to be a little too late. Thankfully, we do break the lose streak a little bit here. I thought, okay, no, never mind. The Lynx got completely popped by the Ramphy. So yeah, this is definitely turning into a bit of a greedier build that is going to punish me heavily. So 50. Is there any chance that anybody sold their Lynxes? I think they might have at least. Our boots, did they completely get rid of it? They did. Okay. One more try then. There we go. Hello, beautiful. You finally arrived. Okay, level 8 to my 5. Nah, let's level the once. Get the monk here into here. Now we need to try and just push levels. Thankfully, we have an NPC round after this as well, so if this doesn't go our way, it's not the absolute end of the world. Because we've got firepower now, I just need healing, I think. Nice, we're going to be able to win that one. And then I'll keep all of my Axons here. If I'm able to get Axodon, then hell yeah. But if it's not in the cards, I'm not going to push for it. I'll pick up a little Ebb here just in case. I'm going to pick up the Kling as well, since we do have our Chelian that could lead us into Verdant if we get this thing evolved once. And then optimally, I would love to have another Krunk. What's a Krunks look like in terms of play? Quasler, one of the bots, I believe, did have one, so them going down is perfect for me. Our Boots does have a Krunk as well. Are they going for it? It's fully evolved, though. No, it does not look like it. Zico Perico, I swear to God. Good to see you. I hope you're having a good day. Burn energy. Let's give that a shot. Do I want more damage? Do I just go super greedy? I feel like this is doing nothing. Okay, level up again. The only threshold I can actually break is Empath, I do believe. So what I think I will do, we'll get TNT over here. And then my little Ebb will be needed to tank that tanky ramp fight that's going to be coming in here from Blaza. Yeah, just keep them all stuck in the corner, and maybe we'll see. Can I get this Hydra Lynx to snowball a little bit? We'll see right there in the orange, a little blast icon. That is, of course, the damage. It's getting higher and higher the more that I manage to get eliminations. Not too shabby, but again, this tanky this tanky ramp fight made things difficult. And we're barely, I think, going to be able to take this one versus Blazin'. Barely going to be able to do it. Okay, a water imprint, potentially. Solid start, potentially. Physical resistance, I don't think so. Nature, no. Starting energy, maybe. Let's go for more crit. You can give it a shot. Okay, there's an Ador. Warrior Ace does have a Krunk as well. If I want to really roll for Krunk, I should probably wait a minute. Okay, Ebb is going to be diving on through here. Maybe I take away my TNT finally, and I sneak in this Ador on the left-hand side. The sustain is the scare, so I need to make sure that my team can actually do that. That's a rough little spot there for my Lynx to be sitting in, though, directly in the line of fire of that Sinolf. That Ranger being an absolute troll to my units. It nearly juked out everybody. Deal with this damn break, please, and then maybe we can stay safe. Lynx going for an absolute walk, apparently. Let's get onto that snake. There we go. And now that my tanks are there, we should be fine. I don't see Crunk losing this. Yeah, there we go. We just lost a lot of players on this one. Perfect. Okay. Back up here with Blazin. Our last battle with them was very close, so I do need to be careful. What's the Crunk situation everywhere else? It's just our boots that has some, right? And we're very close. Maybe I go up to level 8. Maybe that's kind of like the happy medium of sorts. And do maybe 1 and 2. Wait, oh, no, I had another spot available. I screwed that up. I shouldn't have grabbed the Ador. That was a mistake. Thankfully, still have some HP. We might still get away with it. This one's looking more convincing compared to the last battle. Yeah, much, much better. Beautiful. Here's another heady. Let's first fix my mistake here. So I don't want double Axon. That does me no good. So let's bring Ador into the field. This does give me 5 bulwark now, so I do have additional reflective damage, which is definitely very nice. A Sinolf going to be the scare of sorts this time. There's another Ador here. We can get rid of a Tipo. Another Ebb. Am I going to actually use Ebb, though, I wonder? Potentially. Oh, that's unfortunate. I lined these up so perfectly that I straight up just completely stopped my Lynx from actually getting into the fight. Does show up a little bit late with some additional attack speed, but that might have been a bad enough loss to just get completely popped. Yeah, damn. Yeah, so mispositioning there on my Illuvial is going to cost me greatly. Knock me down to, what, 30s maybe? 20s? Yeah, into the upper 20s. Okay. Okay. Ebb, come back. I'm gonna start moving now because I don't trust my ability to actually play quick enough, if that makes sense. Ador. There's the Cling. Oh, but it didn't actually, hang on, that kind of glitched out a little bit. It didn't actually give me the Twine onto the field. So I'm going to lock in my shop to see if I can actually evolve this thing right away. Oh, that's annoying. It didn't actually even come through. Yeah, that's real annoying. Okay. Okay, well, let's see if we can maybe get up to this. There we go. If I can then move you over. Give you some of these tanky augments instead. Let me level up to 9. TNT can come join. Something like this, potentially. Can then get Granite online to at least deal with that Lynx for the first opening portions of this battle. My Lynx didn't get any kills, but at least it's not being damaged. Now we can start snowballing some of that damage and crit amp that we're looking for. The way too many melee units, Lynx is kind of stuck for a little bit longer, but now it's onto their Lynx at least. As long as they're shooting at the Crunk, we're in great shape. There we go. We are going to be able to take out Blazin, and then we also lost our boots, so we've moved all the way into a top 2 spot. Horus is here. I still didn't end up actually getting my Twine, which is annoying. Now we're finally going to get it. Can we potentially find one more or 2 more Clings here? Not Clings. Headies. not going to be able to do so. Okay, let's spread these out a little bit. Play up near everybody. That's where the Verdant is. Let's see all these rogues going to be jumping on through. My poor Adorito is going to get absolutely shredded. I should have paid attention a little bit more to what the team combat I was actually going up against. So without question, after a start like that, we're going to get crushed. I imagine that Hector's going to crush me no matter what I try and do. But we'll give some effort nonetheless in this last one. I'm not going to like surrender or anything like that. Oh, I don't even get the choice. That was just such a hard loss. We straight up lose there. So there we go. GG's Hector. Nice one in that one. Very decisive victory. And we get to level up our Lynxes a little bit. The Relentless Lynx got a lot of airtime into that one. Or playtime, rather. Same thing with the Relentless Hydro Lynx. But let's see if maybe this time the Lynxes will let me play something that isn't Aegis. But when I see Fighter and then I saw the tankiness, that's where my mind went. Immediately hopping into another one, we've got Nariba, we've got Tallulah, we've got Wolverine. Alright. Was that the stackable every time you fuse for the region? Okay. Welcome to my lobby. Oh, does that ever sound so threatening? Good luck, have fun. Yeah, every time I fuse, so... I'm gonna really push my attention span this time by getting the double yellow. That makes me sad. Okay, potentially steal everything as of this moment. Recycle the yellow. And what Lynx do we have this time? We have another Stoic Flora Lynx. Okay, so if I did Toxic Aegis last time, maybe we try a different nature build. That might be the way to go. Okay. Phase Breaker to start things off. We'll take that, send that back to the Recycler. We go there. Double Scion, potentially. Speaking of Wolverine, there they are. Hello there. We were not blessed with the Lynxes early into this one. In fact, it's going to be the Lynxes coming up against us. Wolverine also pushing to 4 means we're just going to get absolutely stomped like it's nobody's business. But that's okay. Let's see what kind of weapon we get and where we can go from there. One thing that was pretty cool on the weekend, just yesterday actually, on Sunday, I had the opportunity to go over to Super Phoenix Sports. So that was a group that came into the Discord, I think it was Wednesday last week, and they were looking to have an Illuvium game night. And they wanted somebody who's been around a little bit to like help them with commentary and explaining the game, and thankfully I was allowed to go onto their stream. We had a pretty fun time. It's weird having a community night kind of style stream. It's not necessarily one that I've personally done a lot, so the vibe was definitely much different, but there was a very friendly environment, and I definitely thank them for letting me hop on. They were glazing me so hard. Like, I was blushing, I'd argue. They thought very highly of my mic work, to say the least, so I was pleasantly surprised, and I thank them greatly. And if they have another Illuvium community night, which apparently this is one of their better nights too for our turnout, then would love to do it again sometime. Alright, now I'm finally going to find my Lynxes. We can switch this up here. Which one is my good one? That is my main one. We'll do something along these lines for the time being. Going up against Tallulah. I think we could take this. We'll see. So one thing that we can do, because there's actually a nature flish in the game, this is one of the few times where you could actually go for Verdant Invoker. So it's something that I'm debating on, but I'm also just debating on doing a heavy, heavy nature team. We'll see where it goes. But it was really cool. Like, we had multiple different lobbies. I think there was, say, like 3-4 lobbies worth of players that were either brand new to Illuvium, or they'd played before but just haven't played in a while, that had the opportunity to come experience it again, and that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. Okay, I'm gonna throw my Atlas in here for now, just to get up to 3 bulwarks. We did get my Stoic Lynx back onto the field. Again, level 31 still needs plenty of playtime to get into some competitive shape. We do have a handful of free refreshes when we get to level 5, so this region is going to help the cause a little bit. The only thing that's really annoying, though, is whether or not I go for Seaforus or not, because my track record of placing well in a game when actively going for Seaforus is actually extremely low. Not that they're contested ever, but it usually just costs me way too damn much when I go for it. Go for it. I can do the poison potentially. Lynx-wise, we're actually sitting very pretty, and heck, we're almost on pace here to maybe even get all the way up to the Exalted Nature Flish, which would be pretty huge, I'm not going to lie. Toast spot, I feel comfortable that we can take this, so let's scoop up the Atipos, potentially get another free reroll. And then we'll wait till the next round where we hit level 5 naturally. And then we'll see if we can get a clean getaway at first off getting our Lynx, get that Stoic Flora Lynx on board. And then if possible, if I can get an Axon, Archos, and TNT, especially if I can get multiple of the little Totofis to the point where I can maybe even think about pushing for Seaforus, maybe we can make that happen. But the last couple of games, I definitely felt like I was doing myself a massive disservice by staying at level 5 for so long. Part of me does not want to go through that again, so there's another Flish. That's kind of huge, actually. Let me get you on board. This is my good one. Yes, it is. Swap these up. Okay. We'll take the Flish. Now we can potentially start rolling. But I'm at 70 flat, actually. Maybe I hang on for one more round here. I think we could take Reload Queen. And then one trick that I actually do in my team planner, because of course, in your team planner when you're hopping into the Illuvium Arena, it'll just by default take the highest level Illuvial you have and use it. But if you're trying to train something in particular, you're better off using the team planner and setting it manually. And because there's two, and what I found myself happening a lot, is I wouldn't be able to tell which one of my Lynxes or which one of my Illuvials were the competitive one and which one wasn't, or which one was just the extra. So what I intentionally do now, whenever possible, is I pick one that is the competitive, and then I pick a shiny, or a holo version rather, as the other one. So it's specifically glaring me in the face like, hey, this extra, or this one here, this is an extra one, don't pick it. And thankfully it's been rather successful so far. One thing also rather successful as of right now is the evolutions we've gotten. We now have an Axon here. I think I'll get rid of our Broncos. Do we potentially go for Axodon? I mean, we have some extra credits. We can maybe do so. Oh, never mind, because I'm going to be teased by Sephirus. Oh, I'm really going to be teased by Sephirus with how this is playing out. Because we have no other Stoic Lynxes. We have one other TNT. What does Wolverine have on the bench? Nothing. So it's a very clean shot at both of them. Composition-wise, Wolverine's got Mystics going on. I'm intentionally going to take the healing reduction to try and screw over their Mystics a little bit. Why is all my Illuvials facing the wrong way? That's kind of funny. That's better. Can we finish off the Lynx? That was a rough couple of rolls. I did just go past another Flish, so that's a bit of a heartbreaker. But there we go. We do end up getting that Stoic Floor Lynx on the board. We are 2 Sephirus away, or not Sephirus, 1 Titofi away now from potentially being able to score it. Because I was switching players, it looks like I'm going to immediately get wrecked there. And is that enough? I think we might have just got it. We might have just gotten Sephirus online here in probably the cleanest fashion that I've ever gotten. Maybe even just pick up the Fury for fun here, just in case, as another additional Scion. Alright. So Air Imprint, no thank you, not this time. Refresh, maybe? Energy for the Earth Imprint, maybe not. Because I'm thinking Invoker, maybe we'll do the Refresh Energy. NPC round. I'm going to use my freeze with the attempt of maybe landing a Flish. We don't end up hitting it, but that's okay. I'm not going to spend any more time and credits on it. We now have Toxic Harbinger online, but I'm probably going to switch this over to Invoker very soon. It says I have a Monk here, but I don't even see what a Monk here would be. A Composite Chip, okay. This makes things extremely interesting. Let's first get our board situated, level up one more time. We can actually bring in the Scarabok. That lets me get up to 5 Bulwark. If I go for this, for the Verdant Invoker now online, can I get a chip for it? We do actually get a chip for it, so we're going to make it so that my Axon is going to be an Invoker here as well for some heals. I'm actually going to go for a fusion one for the Breach Pulse Reactor. And throw that damage onto Sephirus as well, because why the hell not? So there we go. 5 Bulwark, 3 Scion, 3 Invoker, extremely early. And now I just get to decide whether I want AoE Invoker, or do I want single target Invoker, or do I get greedy and try to go for both? Of course, my big decider there is whether or not I'm going for a Fisto or whether I'm going for Dual F. We'll have to see what the landscape looks like. I do see a little Squiddy being picked up here by Nariba, but we have enough firepower and enough tank to be able to get right on through very comfortably. But no matter what, I essentially just need to focus on leveling up. Seeing Hunter's Precision makes me a little bit giddy, I'm not going to lie. Maybe we do something like that. Maybe we get the flares on board. Do we even have enough room for tanks for it? I mean, not exactly, but could be worse. Put a little bit of credits on 4th. But what I need to find is Cling, actually, here, so never mind about the flares. There's one Cling. That's a good start. Because if I'm going to go for Verdant Invoker, I better actually have the Twine, the easiest one to actually get Verdant into play. There, they're all going for the Lynx, and just look at how damn beefy this Lynx is. Perfect. Almost 400 Omega power by the end of that one. Okay, level some more. Level 8 now on the board. That's a little bit of counterintuitiveness, if I do think so myself. If I'd optimally want, I guess we'll try... something like this, potentially. Then I just need one more Scion. We very well might switch out the Fury, but this is just for now, for max DPS. Is that a Tsunami on a Sinolf? That is probably one of the scariest combos. Just a never-ending stream of Water Beams. It took out all my DPS, but thankfully the tanks, I think, are just going to be just strong enough to take it. This is close, actually. No, that's a scary combination. Nicely done there for Sir Button. Seeing the Mammoths, something I could definitely use here as well. Do I roll, or do I level some more and maybe get a 5th Scion on board here? I'm going to put it towards level. I'm going to try to remain calm. I'm still above 50, so I'm not scared yet. Because if we can at least get up to level 9, that really betters my chances at finding the Dual F or the Ephisto. And I would really love to be able to pull that one off. Jump Scare Sinolf now. Okay, so I've seen so many Sinolfs that I think it's actually going to make my decision here for me. Because there is maybe 2 or 3 people as of this moment that do have Sinolfs. We're going to take out one of them. Sir Button had the other. Who else had one? Was it Nariba? No. If it's just the bots, maybe it might be okay. There goes at least one of them. Squiddy. We'll be very close to level 9 now. But maybe I do something like this. Come on now. Oh, it doesn't fit, that's why. There you go. That's better. So AoE-wise, I'm not in a great spot. However, I do have a lot of single target or like multi or 2 target bursts, basically. Which isn't too bad. So we've got the reduction in terms of healing. Gonna reduce the energy cost on it as well. Where do I want to go from here? I can't do anything more about these tier 0s. We're gonna get rid of that. All the way up to the next level. Reload. That's a lot of Illuvials in the corner. Let me see if I can get Mammoth on the Prawl here for that one. Some more fusion, potentially. Energy resist piercing. Give that to you. Some more tankiness. Yes, please. Give that to Axon. What is this? Synergy chip. Could go for either Scion, Earth, or Air. That's probably just going to end up going for Scion, I guess, just to get another Illuvial some immunity when it fires off its Omega. The lack of AoE outside of the Ranger is going to be a little bit irritating here. A lot of them are clumped up. My Mammoth has already been completely crushed. But the Ranger now, because the Charm actually got to move away from the bunker, move away from all of this crowd control, that was kind of stopping its cast from happening. This is a very close battle. And the squad pulled it off. I mean, this Seafer is at over 450 in terms of its Omega power, but it's probably still not going to be enough. Yeah, we're going to end up losing this one. Damn. Alright, another nature chip. I don't mind that idea, because we can then give this over to Axon. Maybe do something like this for now. Oh, there we go. Octius has arrived. Nariba is there. Hello, Nariba. Going for some mammoths. I'm going to about 50 here. I'm not going to worry about Sinolf, I don't think. Alright, comfortably getting to about just around that 50 credit mark. In fact, I'm probably going to get rid of these Furies. Because my Archos is immune, it means his heal goes off no matter what gets thrown at it. There's just so much damage coming on here from Nariba that I can't survive. So I need to either fire back harder, or I need to build some tank. Because that was not good. That was not good at all. Down to 30-something. I feel like I need to spend. We're getting very close to a few here. Alright, Aphisto has arrived. Is there any sort of AoE going to stop me? I don't see it, so there we go. Let's do something like this. Not too bad. Still have a little bit of credits in the tank as well. I still need to get this Twine Verdant. Like, we're trying to go for Verdant, and yet we still can't. And then I need to get this Goliath onto the field. Aphisto, need you to clutch up quickly here. There we go, taking down a bunch of DPS, but we still have that foe on the right-hand side. That's going to be the scary one, I'd argue, in this case. We did not get any reset that time, so that's going to hurt. We need it quickly. We need it now. There's one. We are not going to get it. Okay. Next fight, or next loss is it looks like. On the bright side, we've made it into the top 4, but can we get ourselves a Mammoth, please? We're going to finally get Verdant, so that part's hooked in. And we do get the Mammoth, so multiple Harbingers online now. 4 Invoker. It's looking pretty good overall. Nariba, though, they just absolutely crushed us before. I think I get rid of Caradulo. We put in Goliath instead. Something like this, potentially. Let's see how it goes. This is going to be tough, though. Nariba has pretty much as meta gets currently in this arena patch. Aphisto, we need some resets. Let's go. We do get them. Good shunt onto the rake, giving me some time. But that ramp fight was extremely scary, and this is not Sustain Aphisto. It's not my favorite build, and we're going to barely hang on, actually. Holy smokes. Okay. For this to go my way, I need there to be either... I need some sort of sustain here. So whether it be an energy chip or an energy augment that gives the Omnivamp, the one that gives you more Omega power over time and then gives you a little bit of Omnivamp. I need it to be either that or a Brawler augment. What I optimally should have done, actually, is maybe have taken the one that my Lynx is holding and threw that in the Recycler. I get a chance. We do get it. Frustrating Impact Reactor. Sustain Aphisto. Okay, tessellating Omega Reactor for additional energy. Not a bad idea either. Let's give that over to you. Aphisto. Sustain Aphisto is good. Because I don't have any time to reroll, we'll just keep the Omega Augment, throw it onto here. And then, Silent, why aren't you spending? If I can beat Wolverine in this fight, I can then push level 10 and maybe throw something like an Ador, some sort of other utility Illuvial into the fray. Let's see how this goes. This is greedy, but I'm not going to have a shot at winning if I don't do this, I don't think. Okay, there we go. First shots from Mephisto coming on through, including a shot onto the Adorito. Tank line doing okay, but this isn't looking great. Couple good shots, taking a few more down. Mephisto, we need some resets once again. There we go. Please, please, please. Oh, very, very close. Now it's going to be the 1 versus 1. Wait, never mind. There's a geyser way on the other side of the field. We're probably going to lose this here. I did not respect the geyser hiding in the corner. Did not quite work. We do end up losing with a lot of credits still in play, but I'd have to go into some VOD review to think of exactly how I would have done that differently. Oh, we still get a level here onto the Stoic Lynx, onto the Greater Nature Flish. The Stoic Flora Lynx gets a level as well, so there we go. Gladly accept that. And Seafarers actually got to come online and actually held their own pretty well, I will say. We did at least make podium, when a lot of times when I go for Seafarers, I end up stuck in like 4th or 5th, so I'm happy that we did manage to get a podium out of it. Still got time for one more game here, so we'll hop onto that in just a second. Let's switch up for a little bit here. Bring mine back in. Now this has been fun, but the intention here of having the Lynx pick my team was that I would maybe play something that wasn't necessarily my team's. But the Lynxes that we've been getting have been really lending itself to what I already play. So, is what it is. Maybe we get something air-based or fire-based this time. Maybe Earth. So yeah, well, we had water, water, nature. Or nature, water, nature. That's how it went so far. But it's good to be able to just come back and actually just play a few rounds. Especially after Deathmatch, after getting a bunch of TPI upgrades, just some better Illuvials overall. Because thankfully, through the free mode, I got a pretty absurd amount of bones, actually. In fact, I'm going to quickly take a look at exactly what I'm talking about here. What did my results end up actually being here? Let's take a look. Assuming it actually loads here. There we go. Yeah, so 32,800 bones were earned by my personal extras. Of course, when I'm talking about my personal extras, I'm talking about Illuvials that were not donated. They were the ones extras that I had gotten from my time in the Illuvium overworld. And on top of those extras, these were Illuvials that were with so many duplicates that I was able to send a ton of them to the community rescue first, and then anything left over I threw into Deathmatch. And by being able to get 30,000 or 32,800 bones, that's what, the equivalent of like $320 worth of packs that I've opened because of it, just from my extra collection. So I'm thankful that this game was available for me to do that, because I have a sheet here, actually. Of course I have a sheet for everything here, but my Illuvials, I keep track of all of my averages when it comes to TPIs and levels and all that. And I started off, prior to Deathmatch, I had about a 63 average TPI. To go up over 11% or 11 TPI on average is a huge jump, and I'm very thankful that Deathmatch allowed me to do that. I wish I could have gotten involved a little bit more in the standard mode, but that's not necessarily the position I'm in. But that was a big one, and then I kind of cover it up here on the bottom right, but my best player ended up, oddly enough, being a Sephirus. So, my tried and true Scions and Invokers coming on through, even in the free mode. It's GG Wolverine. Did you end up taking that one? Sorry I didn't stick around the cast. Yeah, you're crushing it that game. Good one. Okay, so according to nil rates, or not right now, but about a half hour ago, they did make a comment on the Illuvium Deathmatch Discord. Apparently tomorrow, a bunch of the crypt features are going to be coming online here. So we had seen already, as we're loading into our next matchup, Wolverine, we caught you once again, it looks like. Nariba as well. And then maybe Fox, maybe not Fox, but Bart. But I'll show you what I'm talking about after the stream, but apparently some more updates towards Deathmatch are on the way, which I believe includes the revival. We'll have to see here in a second. One thing that, I don't want to say triggered me, but had me very curious. Why does Deathmatch need leaderboard rewards? Because this kept getting brought up pretty consistently, and apparently is something that's going to be getting worked on. But why does Deathmatch and how does Deathmatch utilize rewards? Like, aren't... At least the gamer in me is very confused. Like, explain to me if I'm wrong, but isn't the idea of playing in standard or playing in one of the paid modes and getting paid that way, isn't that enough? Why do we need a leaderboard? Especially when we're in a position where there's consistently talk about how we need to conserve our runway. Leaderboards, for the most part, just throw away money, don't it? All right. That's not the right Archie. Let's switch that in here. Not very comfortable with my current start. Crimson Waste, more damage every turn, so I cannot afford to play safe. Let's do something like this, I guess, for now. What a lobby? Yeah, let's take a look and see who we got here. So Nariba, then we have Bart, we have Wolverine, we have Prowler. It looks like Prowler's second account into this one here as well. So of the people that are actually players in this game, we have a bunch of killers, so this is going to be fun. The Lynx this time is actually a fire-based one, so let's go. If it's fire, let's go with fire. Immediately going to find an Archos, which is rather nice. Let's hop on fourth. Pick up maybe the percent-based style. I was a little bit greedy, but it's actually only the bots that are playing air, so I am probably going to be fine. Is it the lesser Graco that I need to level? It's this one, I think, right? I mean, there's no guarantee that I even win this, so hang on. Let's do something like this. But this doesn't even necessarily guarantee that I'm going for fire here. I know I've got the best weapon in the game in terms of going Inferno Arcanite, and it looks like actually I'd be kind of stupid not to. It does not look like anybody else is actually in a position to truly contest me. So even though my Inferno Arcanite team, it's not good. It's not leveled. We're going to try it here today. A very close battle here with the Full Metal Rats. But I think we're going to be okay. Archo's thankfully tanking everything here. It's one thing I've been doing for fun. I was talking about the Slayer builds earlier. Something that I do is sometimes screw with people. If I happen to get the Boomerang, sometimes I would actually turn it into Steam Slayer. And it's a lot of fun, but is it good? Probably not. So, we'll go for the tried and true this time. I'll have the gang all snuggle for now. Make them eat fire? Absolutely could, it looks like. This one is definitely not Fox Spirit, though, or aka Bart. It's Fox's account. Whether it's actually Fox, who knows, but we know they have plenty of hard hitters on this squad. Heck, even their Fleesh, very high level. Okay, there's a Lynx. We'll gladly make the switch here. Get rid of what we don't need. There's Wolverine. Something like this, potentially, for now. Now, I'm still trying to figure out, as much as I've seen it in, like, top-level pro play, my Lynx got absolutely collapsed. That was terrible positioning. But, in regards to Inferno Arcanites, and the build order, one thing that I get stuck up on pretty consistently is when I hit level 7, I never know whether I should focus in on Monarch, or if I should just keep leveling and ignore Monarch anyway. Yeah, this Lynx here is an absolute unit. I just, of course, picked this one up from the deathmatch, trying to level it up. But, of course, with that, it does have some foe-like tendencies where it just kind of throws itself into the fire. So, yeah. So the strategy is to actually ignore the Monarch, okay? It must all then be about the snake, right? Getting Scoriox as fast as possible then. I imagine would be the play. Okay, Prowler is going to make this extremely difficult. They already hit the Stoic Emberlings. So they put me in a very, very rough little spot, I'm not going to lie. We've got percent, we've got additional attack speed. Just do something like this then. Monarch is oftentimes a downgrade even compared to double Arctase. Okay. Using gold to make yourself weaker. That's kind of crazy. So that definitely puts it into a better perspective for me here as we move forward in this one. As much as I love Monarch, it's a fantastic Illuvial, probably one of the better looking ones. It's arguably on my top 3 for Illuvials based off of looks. But yeah, I guess unless you're specifically looking for Phantom, it's not really worth it, and Phantom isn't that much of a game changer. Okay, so I can now add my Rye onto the field here. Gets us up to 3 fire. Now, the Lynx picked my team, but of course, since we do already see the fully evolved Lynx coming out here from Prowler, there's a good chance that I just don't get to go for more of it. So, a little unfortunate. We'll move towards level 7. If I could scoop up a couple more Fire Illuvials, just to hit 6 a little bit cleaner, that'll be nice, and I can replace the Lynxes with those. Even still, this isn't going to be for free, though. think the Lynxes are going to be able to clean it up nicely. You have the best Monarch in the world, level 62, it can never use it. Yeah, that's gotta be frustrating, 100%. Okay, level 6. Draco, come play. There is our Templar. There we go, Railu is here. Get a bit of a setup kind of like this. Catch that Rue as it comes on through. There we go, some Illuvials taken down nice and quickly. Perfect. Gear, good to see you. It's been a little while. I hope all's going well for you, mate. Let's switch this one. Yeah, so if you can scoop a couple of these fire units, that would be lovely. I'm going to keep the Strike Boomerang with the Stun, Fury, and the Ace showing up at a beautiful time. Okay, let's make some switches then. Get you locked and loaded. We could kind of corner up a little bit. I'm going to continue to use Archos as a part of this fire-based team. That might be a mistake, but that's just my personal spin on it. I don't have an immediate fire Illuvial that I can be using to switch the spots, so I'll keep it like this for now. Ups and downs as usual, definitely understandable. Hopefully more ups than downs. There, finding Fiery so quick is definitely nice, but I wish we had that 6. Would then be able, of course, to get that % health damage, which we're not going to be able to do, at least as of yet. Nariba going to punish me there. But we are moving up. I'm not going to take the Scion Imprint. Fighter might not be a terrible idea. I can give that over to Fury. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's get to level 7. For the time being, I'll throw my other Lynx in here. But I'd need to get to level 8 relatively quickly now. Best possible chance at getting the snake. What other snakes are out there? There's just the one from Wolverine, but it's not evolved. So maybe I could play level 8, look for Arctase, look for Scoriox. Let's get the shield variant here for my ace. I'm gonna keep one Destructive Force Reactor just in case this turns into an Umber build, so I can actually hit it. Leveled up again. I'm pretty early, actually. Maybe we can bring Graco back for a second. I mean, having Ador is kind of teasing me, though. Everybody snuggle. The big thing missing to truly round out this composition, I believe, would be Flare. Get Flare, get a front line, and we'll be in a great spot, I think. Anything new for me? For the most part, it's just been the same old, same old. Having 3 days of streams, trying to look for additional work on top of all of that. With limited to no success, unfortunately, but is the way that it goes. And then I'm still having fun here. Still having fun at the same game. Still here with Illuvium and having a great time. Family's doing well. Kids doing well. Hope all's good for you as well. Okay, Fox, or Bart rather, did pick up a snake as well, so it looks like I'm going to be a little bit contested here. We do get our Stoic Lynx finally arrived. Okay, gonna bring that up to Adorito. Another fighter doesn't do me any good, I don't think. So maybe Scareback? Do I want to spend that credit? Yeah. Maybe just do something like that for now. Then next turn we start really looking for Arctase. There is one ace here, but that is it. And that sounds gear, or that sounds gear. That sounds great, gear. Thank you. Sounds good. A Bard, of course, one of the better collections here in the game, so I never expect the win going up against them. Boomerang's definitely making a nuisance, but we will eventually be burned through here in just a second once that back line gets onto my back, or their back line gets onto my back line. Okay, we finally take out the Kronk. Can we somehow turn this? I don't think so. No, we're going to end up going down. Good effort, though. Good effort. There's Wolverine. Now, because Prowler does, again, have all the Lynxes, we're not going to worry about chasing. Can we please hit something? I mean, that's good. Okay, Lynx, I thank you for your service, but I need you to sit down for now. With Flare now here, we finally get 6 fire. It took way too long to actually hit, but we do get it. There is a Rake online, so I'm going to actually switch out the augments for my Illuvials. I want my Fury to be able to hit that Rake regardless of if it's in its Omega or not. Yeah, take it down, because otherwise we are going to get bursted. Heck, it's probably still going to be very problematic. Yeah, my Fury's going after the Riptorus that's way off in the corner, so we get crushed there once again. We're into the 20s, and I don't even have an Arctase yet. Lynx, I need you sold, actually, because I need to hit my max credits. And I need to actually stop being greedy and making moves here. I had the lead in terms of snakes, now we're already missing out. Okay, the Flare is nice to find. There's a Fury. Rampy we could potentially use later. Alright, now we can actually do Inferno Arcanites. Oh, we don't even have Inferno yet, though. There we go. We finally got the damn Inferno. Okay, so it took a little bit, but we did get it. Oddly enough, like, team-wise, this isn't too bad, I don't think. I can do what? I bring up to level 9. Throw Ramphy in there, maybe? There'd be the diminishing returns in regards to fire Illuvials. Yeah, there we go. That was clean. Yeah, Fleesh, you're not going to be used anymore. No reason keeping more Tipo. NPC round's going to come up through. Another Bulwark would get me to 3 Bulwarks, so that might not be a bad thing to look into. Perfect gear, thank you. I'll gladly hit you up after stream, for sure. Okay, I do not have much time to actually worry about... let's see. I don't think I have enough time to actually worry about switching my augments around. Give you that. So we'll stick with the yellows. Even though I don't like the yellows, we're going to have to play with it nonetheless. Okay, level up again. I'm going to have to hit Bulwark, I guess. Throw the Grocko in there, I guess, to get up to 3 Bulwarks at least. Skip the Monarch and maybe snag that. I mean, Mammoth is here. It's definitely going to tease me. Never mind the Rampies, maybe? These battles are going to be tougher and tougher, but at least we do have the Inferno Arcanite now online, but that is a Sinolf that is absolutely in a perfect position to wreck my day. And I was so squished that we get completely clapped and punished. I need 60. We're not getting that. Not a chance. Not a chance. Okay. Screw it. Glass cannon. This might be suicidal, but we'll see. Okay. Never mind the bulwarks, maybe. Just go for Mammoth inside. Anybody else? There are so many snakes here. We definitely do not have enough. At least get up to Goliaths. That's something. Any chance we could find a couple more. Yeah, we blew the bank. And we're up against probably, again, one of the strongest players in this lobby. They have what currently going on? That's going to be Bulwark Empath Mystic. So they've got a lot of tank, thankfully. Oh, I didn't put the Piercing Force Reactor onto my Furiox. So I'm strictly just a machine gun, but doesn't necessarily do percent damage. We might still get away with it, going after the Adorito. That's good. Might be able to hang on, just barely. If we can actually get rid of that Furiox, we are going to be able to do so. We're still in the game. Wolverine next to show up. Not going to find anything of use, unfortunately. Again, we've seen this before, so what I want to do... A little bit of lag coming on through, sorry about that. Little bit of a switch up to try and play around the Sinolf. It'll be the Arctase taking the shot originally, but it will fly away. That is a scary looking number, though. Yeah, we're still going to get cleaned up. We tried Inferno Arcanite, but I got a lot to learn still, so... Still very valuable. Can't win them all, but at least we're still in the top 4, so I will take that. Tipo gonna get a level, I think, here, which is I'll gladly accept. Yeah, the storm was brutal last night, no leaky roof. Thankfully, nothing that wasn't unmanageable. It was there a little bit, but not as intense as it usually is, thankfully. But we can wrap things up. Since I don't have enough time for another game, we will sit and cast this final one. We've got Bart, Wolverine, the top 2 currently of this lobby. Let's see, Wolverine just took me out with this Sinolf. Of course, a rather nice one at that, level 52. Good shot across a handful of these Illuvials. Slowly going to start taking them down, but the problem is that is a Mystic team coming out here for Bart. Once you hit half HP, you get a bunch of additional damage and taken reduction. So you can tank so much. But is that going to be enough to deal with this Umber? Nope, triple kill on that one Wraith Strike. Beautifully done there from that Umber. Putting Bart into a world of hurt. Nariba as well, tied. Wolverine in a great spot to be able to potentially close out this game. NPC rounds before we do end up getting to the end. See what ends up happening. Nariba went for the tried and true rogues, but has not been able to find Slashin as of this moment. They were able to get all the way up to their Malura, but the Slashin shall elude them with that Granite Vanguard style. Bart, we were talking about a little bit earlier, of course, with a more Mystic-based team, very tanky. Empaths, Bulwarks, Nature, Verdant, it's all there. And now the 2 at the bottom are going to have to go at it one-on-one. Nariba, what do you got in the tank here? Looking for a couple of polar bears, potentially. Not going to be able to get them evolved to level 8 on both sides. Big Blotto coming up through here for Bart. Right at the last possible second, maxed out on the defensive stats, and honestly, that's all that matters for what that Blotto is trying to do. Can they hold for a little bit longer? We do see them all grouped up, ready to catch that Malura. Looking to come dive on through. One more stabbing was found for Nariba, but not enough for slashing. Gonna get knocked down to about half HP, but the good stun coming out here from the Goliath gonna slow things down. Ramp fight to the skies does some pretty decent damage, but not enough to kill. Can the Mystics hang on? Can that Furiox in the backline continue the shred? No, actually, the Rogues are coming in clutch, able to find the targets they need to, and Bart will be out of here in third. This now leads us to some heads-up Illuvium to wrap things up. One-on-one, Nariba versus Wolverine. Big question here is Nariba. Can they find the slash-in? They are close, but they're going to have to sell off some things to potentially get it done. Umber has arrived, of course, here for this. Oh, actually, never mind. I'm looking at this backwards. Wolverine is actually the one hoarding all of these penguins, completely wrecking the game plan here of Nariba. Very rough spot to be in, and with Wolverine, I believe, just wrapping things up. They pick up another mammoth, but they don't even necessarily need it. Dualef is here as well. That Sinol from earlier has evolved, and it's in a good spot, but it's going to be going up actually against this Jokul directly in their face. The invulnerability coming out from the drone augment is going to keep them alive for at least a little bit. But the first shot does come through directly through that Malura. The rake coming out here from Nariba is already going to fall. The stabbing already falls, and this one's looking pretty decisive. That Umber is still alive and kicking. There are so many Illuvials alive and kicking here, and that is going to be Wolverine taking the win here in this one for, I think, their second win in a row. Congratulations. Just wrapping up. And that will do it for today. Incredible battles, everybody. It was fun to be able to actually be on the battlefield myself and playing. It's been a little while. And that was a lot of fun. Definitely need more of that. Some more of those games where it's kind of pushed out of my comfort zone a little bit. Like, you could probably tell, even though I've watched a ton of the top level players play, in terms of build orders, I still definitely get mixed up in a lot of areas. Like with Inferno Arcanite, oddly enough, I'm still a little bit lost. I'm a little bit clearer now that we've had it today. It's kind of been explained to me a little bit more. Because yeah, whenever I've played Inferno Arcanite in the past, I've focused Monarch way too hard, and that probably then makes it so that I'm not in position to get a Scoriox, which, especially with how strong 6-Fire Scoriox is in the current meta, I need to probably focus that a little bit harder. Yes, Wolverine, GG's. Great games, great games. In regards to streams for this week, of course, this is not going to be end of the streams for the week. We do have This Week in Illuvium. It's happening earlier than normal, though. I have some family obligations I got to get done in the normal time slot during the afternoon, so I'm going to be doing it in the morning. So back in my old time slot, that's going to be 9 in the morning Eastern time. We're going to be doing it then. That'll be all of the Illuvium news coming on out over the past week, taking a look at how many Illuvials have died in the deathmatch, and where does that currently leave the Illuvial counts for the entire ecosystem, the entire universe. Of course, everything else surrounding Illuvium as well. Heck, loadout also got delayed from what I understand. So there'll be a little bit to talk about. We'll also be doing our House League auto drone openings happening on that stream as well. Then on Friday, we'll be right back at it again with Illuvium Arena House League. That, of course, registration for that is open now. It's in the description of this stream if you want to get the quick shortcut. Make sure you don't get stuck on the wait list, because that puts everybody in an awkward spot. I want to make sure that as many people get to play the game as possible. And wait lists definitely make it a little bit rough. I hate dangling yous along, saying like, okay, you're on the wait list, and maybe if we get more, that never feels good. So make sure you get signed up nice and quick so we know exactly how many lobbies we're dealing with, and we'll just keep the fun going. And then we'll figure out what we're doing next Monday. Maybe some sort of discussion, maybe it'll be some more game time. we'll figure it out. But I've been enjoying having the 3 streams a week. Keeps me busy on top of all the other and real life stuff. So I definitely thank you all for being a part of it and joining me day or every couple of days. It's absolutely a pleasure. I'm having a ton of fun doing it. I know I've been questioned a little bit, like, Silent, are you genuinely enjoying the game, or are you just like sticking around just hoping for a big turnaround? I wouldn't be doing this if I was not having fun. So I'm still enjoying my time, and if I wasn't, you'd all know about it. Yeah, am I always going to agree with everything Illuvium does? No, not a chance. But I'm still enjoying my time here nonetheless. So that's why I'm still here. We're going to keep doing it. And as always, whether it be the deathmatch pit or in the arena itself, I hope you have the best of fun and good luck on your battles in Training Ranger. I'll catch you on Wednesday.
Woke up tired, didn't sleep all night. Mine's still running like a traffic light. Red for stop and green for go. I'm stuck somewhere in between them both. Brushed my teeth and checked my phone. Everyone looks like they've already grown. Smiling faces, perfect lives. I'm here asking, what am I doing? I have a plan, I just have today. Trying not to throw the little good away. Heart's still heavy, but I'm still here. Taking one small step through the fear. I'm tired, but I'm not giving up. I'm scared, but I'm still showing up. One small step is enough today. I'm not fine, but I'm on my way. I'm tired, but I'm not giving up. I'm scared, but I'm still showing up. One small step is enough today. I'm not fine, but I'm on